So when I was younger and one of the lads was a little bit shit at something, let's say for example they couldn't kick a football or they were really bad at pulling girls on a night out. We used to refer to that as just being average. You know, you're average at football, you're average looking. And ultimately we meant that as like kind of an insult, like, you know, being average at something is a bit, you know, shit in that sense. But the funny thing is, average isn't that bad. Average is actually really, really good, especially if you look at it in a fat loss sense. And what I mean by that is you need to start focusing on the averages. So for example, when somebody is trying to track their calories and create a calorie deficit, it's probably not in your best interest to ensure that you're hitting your calorie target every single day of the week, because as human beings, we don't want to be eating the exact same calories every single day. We don't want to be eating the exact same thing every single day, because obviously we've got weekends, we've got nights out, we've got social events. We just might not be feeling a certain food on a certain day. We're human beings, we're not robots. So it might actually be in your best interest to focus on your calorie intake as an average throughout the week. Let's break this down for you. Let's say somebody burns off 2,300 calories every single day, and therefore in order to create a calorie deficit they are trying to eat 2,000 calories every single day. I've literally picked these numbers because my maths is shocking and it's just so much easier to work with, trust me. My expertise come from helping people lose fat and become more confident, not algebra or addition. My maths teacher is going to hate me for saying that. But anyway, so someone's burning 2,300 calories a day, they're eating 2,000 calories a day in order to create an energy deficit and therefore lose fat. Now this person might successfully hit 2,000 calories Monday through to Thursday. Bish bash bosh, not a problem. And then Friday comes about. You know, somebody's playing their cards in the group chat. Anyone fancy the pub? Anyone fancy a Nando's? Things like that. One thing leads to another, and soon enough it's 4 a.m. You've spent countless money on contactless, on Jaeger bombs, and you're lining up behind your mate in a kebab shop waiting for boss man to serve you. We've all been there. And this happens both on Friday and potentially on Saturday as well, which also leads you to not actually be as active as what you normally are, because if you're anything like me with a hangover, I spend most of my time in bed wallowing in my self-pity. Now, when you take a look back at it, you actually realise you've probably been eating more calories than the 2,000 calories which you ideally wanted to eat in the first place. You actually ended up eating closer to 3,000 or even 3,200 calories. You know, all of them beers, all of them Jaeger bombs added up, as well as obviously the takeaway and just not eating the food that you normally eat throughout the week. And this will eventually cause somebody to get a little bit disheartened that they're not losing weight or they're not losing fat, even though they assume that they're in a calorie deficit for the majority of the week. But what you need to remember is the success of your fat loss isn't determined by what you do from day to day to day. It's what you do consistently on average which actually counts. So let's use a little bit of maths, my favourite thing in the world, to work this one out. If your maintenance calorie range, so the amount of calories you need to maintain your current body weight, or even more specific, the amount of calories that you're burning off in a regular day is about 2,300 calories, then that should actually be looked at 16,100 calories over the course of the week. That's 2,300 calories every single day, times 7, 16,100. All good. If you eat 2,000 calories 7 days a week, then that works out at your calorie deficit over the course of the week being 14,000 calories. So instead of looking at it as you need to hit 2,000 calories every single day, you need to instead be looking at it as eating 14,000 calories over the course of the week. If Monday through to Thursday you eat 2,000 calories successfully, but then Friday and Saturday you go a little bit overboard, spending too much money on Jaeger bombs, eating too much food than what you normally do previously, and just not doing as much as what you do Monday through to Thursday. You don't go to the gym, you don't go for your daily walk, you sit around chilling, watching TV before your night out, etc, etc. If you add all that together, 2,000 calories times 5, 3,200 calories times 2, then that actually works out at 16,400 calories as a weekly average, which is 300 calories more than what you burn off in a week. And this is ultimately why people tend to fuck their journey up, fuck their fat loss progress up, and ultimately get frustrated that they're not losing fat, they're actually gaining fat, despite the fact that they assume they've been creating a calorie deficit enough. Because you're not relying on the weekly average, you're instead relying on a day-to-day figure. And the nice thing is, looking at your calorie intake as a weekly average as opposed to a day-to-day target is going to benefit you massively in the sustainability of your progress and the sustainability of your nutrition. Because if you think of it like this, if you're trying to eat 2,000 calories every single day, then you might feel a little bit more inclined to restrict yourself at the weekends, which isn't going to be nice. Because imagine being asked to go on a night out or going to a Nando's or going to your favourite restaurant, and you ultimately turning around and saying, I can't, it's I don't want to go with my calories. That sounds fucking shit. So in actual fact, what you can do is account for your weekly average in a way which allows you to still enjoy yourself at the weekend. So remember, you need to be eating 16,100 calories to maintain your current body weight over the course of the week. Anything below that is a deficit, which means anything below that you are going to be losing fat. If you instead eat 1,800 calories from Monday through to Thursday, and then obviously once again on the Sunday, that'll actually give you 3,550 calories to work with on the Friday and the Saturday in order to stay within that 16,100 calories over the course of the week range. This is what we like to call calorie banking. And it's kind of like this. Imagine if you got a bill due at the end of the week. Lecky's due, the internet needs to be paid, or the tax man is having your pants down. What you'd do is you'd probably put some money away in order to pay for this bill. Or afterwards, you'd probably cut back on expenses so you can obviously start saving your money again. And you can do this with your calories. This is why it's called calorie banking. If you know that you're going out at the weekend, or you know that you've got a social event that you need to attend, or you know that you're probably going to be eating more than what you usually do, or doing less than what you usually do, put some calories away on the lead up to it. 200 calories on the lead up to the Thursday. So eat 1,800 calories Monday through to Thursday. And then Friday and Saturday, you've got 3,500 calories to do with as you please, theoretically. Which means you could technically go out, have as many Jaeger bombs as you want, drink all the gin in sight, and get a takeaway at the end of the night, and still be making progress. You heard it right. You can go out on the sesh, you can order a takeaway, you can eat food which you'd like to eat on a weekend and still consistently make progress. This is me, a coach, telling you can do this. Again, it's not a surefire solution. It's only a bit of advice that you could potentially take on board if you know that your progress usually goes to pot at the weekends because you usually drink too much or you usually eat too much. It's a little tip and a little tool that you can use. Focus on your average over the course of the week. Use a calorie banking method if you know that weekends is where it goes tits up. And that is how you can account for that increase in calorie intake at the weekend. Because 200 calories, it's not really much. That's like a chocolate bar. Averages are pretty cool, despite the fact that me and my friends used to think otherwise when we were younger. I hope that helps. If you did enjoy this video and it did help, please feel free to give it a like. Comment below, tell me what you thought. Ask me if you've got any questions because I'd be more than happy to help with that. Or subscribe just to catch the next one. And as always, if you want any free fitness or fat loss based tips and content without any of the typical bullshit in the industry at the moment, without relying on diet plans or any wanky workouts which you ultimately don't enjoy, feel free to follow my Instagram at k.p_health. Peace.